In the heart of the Ashanti Kingdom, in modern-day Ghana, there lived a young girl named Amma. She was a curious and adventurous child, with a passion for learning about her people's history and culture. Amma lived with her parents in a small village on the outskirts of the kingdom, surrounded by lush green forests and rolling hills. One day, while exploring the forest, Amma stumbled upon an old, wise woman named Nana. Nana was known throughout the kingdom for her vast knowledge of Ashanti history and mythology. Amma was fascinated by Nana's stories and begged her to share more. Nana smiled and began to tell Amma the legend of Yaa Asantewaa and the Golden Stool. Amma listened with rapt attention as Nana spoke of Yaa Asantewaa, the Queen Mother of the Ashanti Kingdom, who had led a rebellion against the British colonial powers in the late 19th century. According to Nana, Yaa Asantewaa was a fierce and courageous leader who had rallied her people to fight against the British, who had taken over the kingdom and imposed their own rules and laws. The British had also taken the Golden Stool, the sacred symbol of the Ashanti Kingdom's power and authority. Amma was captivated by the story of Yaa Asantewaa's bravery and determination. She asked Nana to tell her more about the Golden Stool and its significance to the Ashanti people. Nana explained that the Golden Stool was not just a symbol of power, but also a sacred object that held the spirits of the ancestors and the history of the kingdom. As Amma listened to Nana's stories, she began to feel a deep connection to her own heritage and culture. She realized that she, too, could be a leader and make a difference in her community. Amma's parents noticed the change in her and encouraged her to learn more about her people's history and culture. Amma spent the next few weeks learning everything she could about the Ashanti Kingdom and Yaa Asantewaa's rebellion. She read books, spoke to elders, and even participated in traditional ceremonies and rituals. The more she learned, the more she felt a sense of purpose and responsibility to carry on the legacy of Yaa Asantewaa. One day, Amma's village was threatened by a group of loggers who wanted to cut down the forest to sell the wood. The villagers were divided on what to do, with some wanting to fight the loggers and others wanting to negotiate with them. Amma knew that she had to do something to protect her village and the forest that she loved. Inspired by Yaa Asantewaa's courage and leadership, Amma decided to take a stand against the loggers. She rallied her friends and family, and together they organized a protest to stop the loggers. Amma stood on a rock in the center of the village, her voice ringing out as she spoke of the importance of preserving their land and culture. The loggers were taken aback by the villagers' determination and eventually agreed to leave the forest alone. The villagers celebrated their victory, and Amma was hailed as a hero. She realized that she had found her own voice and her own strength, just like Yaa Asantewaa had done all those years ago. From that day on, Amma continued to learn about her people's history and culture, and she used that knowledge to make a positive impact in her community. She became a leader and a role model, inspiring others to stand up for what they believed in and to fight for their rights.
Years later, Amma would look back on the day she discovered the legend of Yaa Asantewaa and the Golden Stool as a turning point in her life. It was the moment when she found her own voice and her own strength, and when she realized that she had the power to make a difference in the world. The story of Yaa Asantewaa and the Golden Stool had been passed down through generations, inspiring countless people to stand up for their rights and to fight for their freedom. Amma's story was just one example of how the legacy of Yaa Asantewaa continued to live on, inspiring people to be brave, to be courageous, and to fight for what they believed in. As Amma grew older, she never forgot the lessons she had learned from Yaa Asantewaa's story. She continued to be a leader and a role model, inspiring others to stand up for their rights and to fight for their freedom. And she always remembered the Golden Stool, the sacred symbol of the Ashanti Kingdom's power and authority, and the legacy of Yaa Asantewaa, the brave and courageous Queen Mother who had fought for her people's freedom and independence. The story of Yaa Asantewaa and the Golden Stool serves as a reminder of the importance of courage, leadership, and determination.